Coming to you from Strings and Things Studio in Ventura, California, I'm Katie.
I'm Anne.
I'm Karin.
And this is the Strings Unraveled podcast. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hey.
Welcome to May.
Yep.
How y'all doing?
Good.
Good?
Getting through
Excuse me,
spring.
unzipping of a project bag.
Let's just clarify.
What kind of show are we
She is
doing
unzipping
today?
her project bag.
I should have given a bigger pause for dramatic effect.
You could be as comfortable as you want to be.
Oh, that's on me.
Well,
Okay.
who wants to? I guess we could just jump right in.
Sure.
What are you working on? Who wants to go first?
I
Karin
went
unzipped her project bag.
Yeah.
But I went first last time.
They want to know what's in the. Well, you know what? We
Exactly.
should start with our Graphica knit along.
because
you know,
that's what I was
check-in.
unzipping.
Yeah.
So let's check in with that first.
I'm not sure where it is.
Okay.
So I guess I have again lost my project.
Okay, Karin.
I am. Oh gosh, I'm doing the make one in the wrong direction. I have gotten through. I'm almost done with my first ball of yarn that I
Nice.
dyed. So that's like, I feel like that's a progress. I finished chart C and I'm doing the 4th increase round for size 46.
Nice.
So,
Moving right
but what I
along.
did is I made, because I hate to have to guess with all these stitches. So I count the numbers of stitches and that's because it has different rates of increasing. So it says, make 1, knit 3, 57 times. So I'll put a marker.
Yeah, I was doing
I
that.
do that ahead of time. So I just
You count
repeat till the
forward
marker.
and then that's what I did too.
'Cause-
I ain't counting that many.
No, I'll get it wrong if
Yeah.
I don't plan ahead.
I'm
Kinda
disingenuous.
The only problem is I put my markers in and then I'm like, dang, where's the beginning of my round? They're all looking the
Well,
same.
You know that one?
I know,
The dangly?
I put that dingly on there. Otherwise, they were all pink
Ah.
and they're all the same color.
That's why markers are come
Okay,
in multiple
like,
colors.
Show it, flash it to us, please.
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
Lovely. So I am about there too, and I stopped because there's so much more to knit now.
Yes. It takes forever once you get to that point. So I have divided for my sleeves,
Woo.
but I made
Oh,
my
I feel
yoke
really good. I
about
thought
an
you would
inch.
be done by now.
I got my yoke made my yoke about an inch shorter than it said to be because it was like another 5 million stitches, right?
Yeah.
And I had done the last optional chart that's added in for the larger sizes.
Mhm.
And then from there was supposed to be like at least another 1.5 inches of nothing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do
So
that.
I looked at it and I measured the yoke of a couple different sweaters and decided it was supposed to be like 11 and I did 10. It's like, it'll be fine. Because it's also got a wide neck that I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I skipped forward.
Will you flash us?
Oh, yes, sorry.
Zipping and unzipping and
Oh,
flashing.
That's pretty.
Yeah, I haven't touched it.
I
in
love it.
You
in
made a
few
good
weeks.
Oh, I
choice,
only picked
though.
it up like this week.
Yeah.
You made a good choice though, because like since we talked about that gap
Yeah.
before, like it's very obvious when you see it in
That there's a
the
big
sample
space.
one. Yeah.
Mhm.
And I didn't want that. So I just kind of stopped because I was like, I have to think about
Yeah.
what's next.
Yeah, it takes some considering to see what you want to do. Because if you do have that big gap and you need it, you could like add in something, but then you have to do math and figure out your chart and all that
Mhm.
blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I have not touched it in
Since last
a
month.
little while. Well, I think last month I hadn't divided my sleeves just yet, so maybe another week passed.
Mhm.
But yeah, I still am enjoying it.
I have a question about the increases. It says increase right, which is not my intuitive one. Does it really matter?
No.
No.
I agree with you.
Unless they're paired somewhere like in a raglan, if you're just throwing a bunch in for an increase, do whatever the one
It's so
you want.
Increase to the back is just so much easier. That's my go-to default, and I'm like, no, I got to stop and do it. No, I don't.
No, it
I do
doesn't
not
matter.
have to.
No.
You don't. I can mix them up because
Yep.
you know what? It doesn't matter.
The other sweater that I'll talk about later on, I totally am doing a completely different increase because it's like, I don't care. It doesn't matter because it's like yoke increases. You're just doing like a whole bunch in a row. It doesn't,
The
they're
yoke
supposed to
increase-
be hidden,
The yoke increase police are not going to come after you.
They might.
There must
They
be
might.
a yoke increase police though, because I have a bone to pick separately
Okay.
with the left lifted leg increase.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
I'm seeing it
y'all are doing it. Everyone, there's what
all different ways.
what pattern?
There's,
is,
yeah,
what
there
is-
needs to be some regulation. There's no there's like 2 ways to do it.
2 popular designers
Yes.
do it differently.
Yes.
So, and then it's still differently than I learned it.
Yes.
Mhm.
So like,
Andrea
Jonathan-
Mowry has you slip
Yeah.
the stitch first, pick up the leg, and knit the leg, but you never knit the stitch that you slipped until you come back around.
and actually that's Jennifer Steingast too.
Okay.
Is doing it that way. But it's bad because like, especially in stripes, if your increase lands where your stripe went, you get this pebbly thing.
So that's the exact increase that I substituted out because I like the way it looks, because I feel like it marks the fabric less than a make one. You get the like tiny little knot where it twists. But it's in all one color, so I could see how it would disrupt any
just
sort of color pattern.
have to be conscientious of where
Yeah.
you do it. But the way I learned it originally is you knit the stitch and then you lift the left leg.
Yeah.
We learned from Kat Bordee.
Mhm.
You slit you'll to get to it you knit into the stitch and then
Mom,
you go into the
daughter,
grandmother.
grandma.
So
Yeah.
it's essentially, you can think of it the same way as like people who make ones in patterns where they have you do like an E-loop cast on. The stitch isn't getting knitted yet because it's going to result in the same stitch. Because when you do the slip first, you slip the stitch and you pick up the one right below rather than knitting the stitch and going 2 legs below.
Yeah.
So it's essentially going to make the same thing. You're just going to knit it on the next way around. But it's weird that there's not a standardized
I think
or
that
universal way.
knitters are understanding it better.
Yeah.
Not knitting it and then going in.
Yeah.
I think so. That definitely is beneficial.
It's easier to find the leg of the stitch instead of having to go 2 rows down to find it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't mind that increase, so
I was just kind of startled that they're different.
Yeah.
Well, the title of it, it's named the same but it's worked different ways. So it's like I just think if you're going to call something one thing, it needs to be uniform.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if it's slightly different, it should be called something else.
Yep. So I'm enjoying Graphica. I think it's real fun. I'm very happy that I went down in my needle size for my ribbing.
Mm-hmm.
I actually started a second one because I was abandoning the first one. When we went to Solvang, that little
Rasmussen's?
yeah,
Mhm.
the little yarn store above that's part of
What's it called?
Rasmussen's. It's Rasmussen's. It's
Oh,
that-
Rasmussen's. Okay.
It's like a kitchen store on the bottom. There's
Yeah,
a
like
toy store in the
gifts
back,
Mhm.
and then there's like a yardage upstairs.
So I found it's really changed. I think it's been about 5 years since I've been there. Actually, it is 5 years because we went for our 10th anniversary. Was the last time I remember being in there, and we're hitting 15. And it was kind of like not nice before, like real junky novelty.
They have some good
things.
yarn in there.
No, now it's beautiful. It's
Mhm.
like a real beautiful yarn shop and beautiful fabric. Yeah, it's kind of packed in, but whatever.
Do you think that it improved when the other store closed?
Yeah, I
Probably.
was
Just like
thinking that,
just
yeah.
like some of our local shops started carrying better yarn when
Yeah, you
when-
open up some space.
Yeah.
So I'm going to show you guys the yarn I chose. It's I don't remember what it is, but it's
Those
like a
colors.
dark navy self-striping with this
I see nothing but the
neon
green.
green that they had on clearance.
I see nothing
Oh,
but green,
wow.
and everything else
I
doesn't
can't-
exist.
I couldn't not have that
Nice.
green.
Oh yeah.
So that's what you're using for Graphica now?
For a second one. I am
That,
making
are you
two.
going to make it with that blue?
Yeah, the blue will be the background.
Yeah, that it's
and
like
the
it's like
neon green is-
a dark electric blue
yeah.
with
Nice.
It's
Yeah.
it's all the jewel tones I adore. The brown will just be something else, but
Yeah.
it was like $3 a ball, so I couldn't not get it for some high quality fingering weight. And a
Nice.
solid, pretty color. But yeah, I started that, and I figure I'll get both yolks to that difficult
Boring part,
place.
yeah.
And then I'll just alternate between them. So now, as I was remembering that I started the second one, I do know where my project is. It's in
Okay,
the
good.
bag with it's in the Rasmussen's bag in my room. It's a fun pattern. I'm I've substituted make one less.
Mm-hmm. I did too. I didn't even think twice about it.
I was glad to hear about the lack of short rows before observing it myself. So I inserted the short rows kind of like a la Andrea Mowry, where they're done in 3 parts. I
I
inserted
should've
them
done that.
between the 3.
Yeah.
I totally forgot about that.
But you could still do it.
Because I'm not that far down.
You could actually do it now because you still have like 4 inches in it.
Right.
But I mean...
So she does, like, I inserted them between charts.
Like one short row between each chart.
Yeah, because I'm doing right after this increase round, then in the 2 knit rounds in that section I can
throw some short rows in there.
I can remember which side's the back.
Yeah. I guess it's the one with your center marker. That's what I did with mine, was I made that the back.
You know, I don't know if the pattern by default is. I think it's like at the behind the shoulder maybe.
Oh, that'd be good to know. But anyway, it doesn't matter because I can just be mindful.
It's like at the back of your left shoulder is where the beginning of the round is. But you could shift it.
Again, thank you for that.
It doesn't matter. You could do the short rows here and then just divide your sleeves on the sides wherever they go.
Yeah, that's what I'll have to do.
I'm doing all this so you don't have to.
Yeah, thank you. I feel like
will you write down the short rows you did, or how?
I didn't do short rows.
Oh, you did not.
No, I took them from the stripes pattern. I'll show you.
Okay, I'm making a note.
So if you have any Andrea Mowry yoke sweaters, I think she does the same recipe for short rows in all of them. And that is like incrementally doing it. Like you do a set of short rows, then you work for like an inch, then you do a set of short rows like another 2 inches out, work for an inch, and then the third set is just that much further out.
So you just do 2 short, like
one out, one back. So a knit,
cross,
and
and
pearl,
back. Okay,
and then you go back to working in the round, and then you can,
nice.
It's nice. It's nice that it's not all in one place. I think it's a good thing about how she shapes her yokes. So that's Graphica, huh?
Yeah, that's it.
All right. It's fun. It's a fun pattern, though. It was a good choice.
Yeah.
I'm glad we all fell for it.
Well, we were going to force Karin into doing what else are you working on? So, Karin,
what are you working on?
What else are you working on?
We all ganged up on you.
Okay, setting this one aside. Working on. I kind of got a little bit of startitis, so not all of my working on things are here, but I had started working on the bilateral beanie, which is my own pattern, and I got like 4 rows up, but I'm gonna throw that away. And
what?
Well, I am gonna do it, just not with the yarn. So it is something I started, but I'm gonna take it out and redo it with some new yarn from a dyer. This was her very, very first yarn launch. I'm really excited. Her company is called Lonnie Bunny's Enchanted Yarns. It's really adorable, and she sends you a thank you note signed by her and her family. Each member signed it personally.
Wow.
I mean, like, wow, that's a lot of work. But the colors. So I've got this one color, which is, see if you can guess, it's creamy background with lime greens and grassy greens and rosy pinks, and it's all splattered.
I think it's called watermelon sugar.
You're not supposed to read it. Doggone it. Yes. I guess it's the colors of watermelon.
That's a song.
With cream. Is it?
Watermelon Sugar is a Harry Styles
song.
I'll see.
It's about an something illicit.
I'm such a child.
It's a very good song.
So it's a great song
and an incredible music video.
That's what I was just gonna say.
An incredible
so
music
I
video.
think I'm coming to Harry Styles like
me too.
Lately.
Me too.
But because as it was is a great song
Yes, it
and
is.
another great video.
Have you seen the videos of him from Coachella?
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
I'm right there with you, Anne.
So yeah, I'm on a Harry Styles kick
Same.
too.
Well, that's
Big
good
ol'
to know.
same.
I'm writing all that down.
Oh
I'll
my
be
gosh.
watching that on my own.
Yes. Yeah. So
Okay,
it'll put a new spin on your
yeah.
And
your
then
enjoyment of that yarn.
This other one, and I've already hidden because I know you can't see the title.
I want to know.
It's like, I don't know, what do you call these kind of pinks? They're kind of like
raspberry?
raspberry, orchidy, with little blops of really dark, almost pinky black.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty.
It's gorgeous.
Charmed cherries.
Oh, that's
Cherries.
sweet. That
And
goes
so
with
I've
watermelon sugar really well.
Well, Cherry is another Harry Styles song, but it's not called Charmed Cherries, but we could just pretend.
Well, that's probably why they go together really well. Anyway, she had her first launch this week, and I was really just like less than a week ago, or maybe it was. No, I know what it was. It was a week ago. It was a week ago, because I'd been waiting for the launch to happen, and we happened to be at
Oh.
my at a party. That wasn't my party; it was my husband's friend's party. So he comes up to me. I'm like, "Don't talk to me right now. I'm trying this.
Excuse
I've been
me,
waiting
I need
for
to
this.
buy some yarn right now.
I've been waiting for this lunch." I go, "It's like your eBay thing. You get it." He goes, "Oh, I get it. Bye bye."
Just excuse myself
Well,
in
her
the
yarn
background
is
for a minute.
gorgeous, and I hope that she did real well and sold
So
out.
anyway, I think I'm gonna make my bilateral beanie hat, which is a double knit hat that has wide stripes with narrow bits that switch off from front to back, so it's reversible. I'm gonna make it out of that.
How'd you find her? Just tripping around on Instagram?
Oh well, yes and no. I mean, I think we're both part of the same. We're both business group with knitting. I gotta look it up. Tian Knofton.
But you know her through that.
But I know her through that group.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And so what else am I working on?
Well, your homework and everybody else who's listening's homework is to either listen to or watch the Watermelon Sugar music video.
Or
Yep.
both.
Or both.
Yeah.
Or both. Other than that, what else am I started? I brought all this stuff out and now I can't even find. Oh, so I started on Great Gingham GR number 8, and I love that it starts with the sleeves. And this is a really fun pattern.
Nice.
This is by Jessie Maid. That's why I was really surprised that you weren't already doing it.
Yeah, I didn't really know about it. I've been out of the knitting
The Jessie
Instagram
world?
loop for a while.
I have yarn to make too.
So I've got this peach cream pale pastel green as my background, and this russet. The peachy gradient is from Dyed in the Wool and Spin Cycle Yarns, sport weight, and then it's called a fingering, but it really is pretty much a sport weight. It's almost looks a slightly bit thicker just because the plies are a little looser, from the Farmer's Daughter Fibers. This is called Recollect.
Nice.
And it's got a really nice rusticy woolly feel, but not scratchy, and her colors are just really, really deep.
Super
Anyway.
saturated.
Yep. Of course, I've started this, but as soon as yarn comes, I've been hired to be a sample knitter for another designer. So,
Cool.
that's got a 4-week turnaround. So I realize I'll be working on this over the summer, or or next year,
Whenever you feel moved.
whenever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I've got one more thing. I got a sewing thing.
Yeah.
So normally sewing projects do not take that long,
True.
right? But I
Depends
got
on
it.
the project.
Depends
True.
on the project. It's called the Brumby Pouch, and I did pull up the picture. Not that y'all can see it, but
They'll see it on the Instagram.
Yeah.
If you want to
Yeah.
see what we're talking about, we are turned over a new leaf of posting the pictures on our Instagram feed.
so this is what it is.
Oh, that's
Cute.
adorable.
Thank
Are you
you.
making all the sizes, or?
I'm just in the middle size, which is
Nice.
pretty sizable actually when you see
Who's
it.
the pattern by?
This is a part of the Minikins season 3 group. It's by Sarah Lawson. It's So Sweetness.
Nice.
And it's this kind of rectangular bag that curves on the top and is a little bit narrower, and so the zipper curves from side to side, and then it has a side loop on one side, and then it has like a little tag to hold on to the zipper from the other side. But I decided I wanted to do it in vinyl. I got this really classic pearlescent kind of vinyl that was in my stash, and I like the idea of quilting it.
It's so pretty.
So I'm showing the gals what it looks like unquilted, and then I just love the look of it quilted. This
Oh,
is
very
some
pretty.
extra. I quilted
Very
the whole
classy.
piece that I had. Yeah, and I trimmed.
It's
I
really
quilted
elegant.
first, and I just did that diamond shape, and I love so I took my friction pens, and I drew one line, a set of lines in each direction at a 60-degree angle, and then sewed on one line, and then sewed just 1/8 of an inch to the side of that line in each direction. So it's like a double lined diamond.
Gorgeous.
And then I steamed over it and made the friction go away. Now, if I ever take this to the snow, technically
Yeah,
the
if
ink
you
will
take
come
it
back,
to the Antarctic or whatever.
Mhm.
because
you
I
might
go
have to
there
worry
because
about
I
your
go there
friction
so
pens, but-
often.
I know. You'll have to leave that one at home.
I talked to this lady yesterday who was from Bahava.
Bahaba.
Yeah, and it was amazing. I wanted her to never stop talking to me. But the thing that I want to share now is that she says she was getting to her point, but doing something while she was getting there. And she's like, okay, I got to turn on this heater because it's 47 degrees outside, but it feels like 35 with the wind chill. And I'm like, it's April. And I was sitting in, yesterday was a beautiful day. It was like 69 or 70 all day. And yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So if you go to
Bahaba. So anyway, not that you can tell. We'll show a picture of it in progress, I guess, but it doesn't look like much. But it's neat because instead of having the sides, it's like you have the pieces are like eye shaped, and the little parts that were the eye start get sewn to the letter I, the capital I. They get they make its own box corners, and that's what creates that rounded shape. So you put the zipper in while it's flat, and then it goes rounded. So you're not trying to put a zipper
around.
You're not trying to put a zipper on a curve.
Perimeter.
Yeah.
Nice.
I like that.
Her bag making, huh?
So yeah, but I was just excited about that. I know it takes an extra step to quilt the vinyl. It reminds me of those really fancy tufted couches that you get,
or a fancy suitcase or something.
Like a fancy suitcase. Yeah.
I like it.
So those are the things that I can remember are in progress.
Okay.
Anything I don't remember doesn't count.
Got it.
Yeah.
And anything that I'm still forgot about from last month also doesn't count.
Right. Yeah. No. Only what you're currently into.
Yeah. Well, what I am currently knitting. I cast on for a new project because I didn't need another one, but I really wanted to.
I understand this problem.
It's not about need.
Yeah, I knew you would understand me. So this is Parachutey. Parachutey is a West Knits pattern. From like 2014. It's an old pattern, and it's like a tank top.
Okay.
So this shape that I'm knitting right now it starts at a point and increases, and you make a front and a back, and I have a picture to show you so you can sort of see. This is somebody else's that I stole their picture from, but you can see how it starts.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
And then the back starts at the top and wraps around to fill in at the bottom.
Oh my god, that's going to be adorable.
And it looks like... Well,
of course, because it's from Stephen West, so it's extremely clever.
Yeah, it's very clever. And I'm destashing. I have made 2 sweaters with fingering weight stash, and I always think I could knit an infinite amount of sweaters from this bag of yarn.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't get any smaller. And 2 sweaters have come out of this bag of yarn, and I'm still working on it. So this is double-stranded fingering. I'm using one color as the background for the entire thing, which is a Madeline Tosh color, and I don't know. It's like Tiny Houses or something is the color. I don't remember. But it's like a grayish with a tiny little pop of some orange and some yellow in it. But it's like a neutral color. And then I'm throwing in random stripes of everything else. So I have a box down here full of small leftover bits of fingering weight yarn, and I'm just throwing it in randomly with no real rhyme or reason. So I'm doing big chunks. I did some stripes. So I have no plan. I'm not planning ahead as far as colors go. I'm just going for it. But it has been very fun and satisfying to work on.
Cute.
It's kind of freedom in that where you don't overplan. You
Yeah,
just let it kind of become organic.
I have 2 skeins of this, which according to the directions should be enough for half of the yardage. So if I use it as one of the 2 strands throughout. But I'm not halfway done with the front. And I have a feeling that my 2 balls of yarn is not going to be enough.
No,
but I have another Madeline Tosh that's I think I have Whiskey Barrel or something. So I might fade into that on the back or something. I'm not worried about it.
No.
That's the whole point.
Yeah. But that's really cute.
It's very fun. It's an old pattern. I saw someone on Instagram. I was just scrolling around and I saw someone wearing one and I was like, oh yeah, I always wanted to make that. And I just started it that same day because I have no other responsibilities, apparently. Then the only other thing I am sort of working on is Livresque. Livresque means bookish in French. Livresque is a cardigan. It was a free pattern on Ravelry one day, so I downloaded it, and it's
very cute.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
It's a light gray. It's a cardigan, light gray background with little stripes of, I have like a warm brown,
Like a
a
cinnamon.
springy green, and like a cobalt blue kind of color. I saw the pattern on,
Cinnamon, lichen, and cobalt.
there you go.
Yeah.
I like that. The pattern's picture on Instagram drew me in because I really liked the colors that she used. This is the pattern's photo.
Mhm.
And it's just a
Mhm.
really classic cardigan. Button bands, round circular yoke. This is the one that I'm doing the left lifted increases on because I liked the way that they looked. They hid. And I have separated for my sleeves. The yarn I'm using is from Hobby, however you say it.
Yeah, I have no idea.
It's
Oh,
not-
I've been curious about that one.
It's not their yarn, but it's they sell it. The brand is Navia, and this is Duo, which is a double strand. They also have Trio, which is a triple ply. I guess the term is double ply, triple ply. And it's like a really rustic Icelandic wool, Shetland wool.
Mhm.
So it's very woolly.
Yeah, like it feels the way I expected it to.
Yes, but it's super lightweight.
Yeah.
Um,
It's lovely though. I mean, I like that texture.
yeah, I do too. I'm very happy with it.
Mhm.
It looks very small to me, and I'm making like a couple inches of
And you've already
these.
separated the sleeves.
And according to the number of stitches and my gauge, it's coming
It's
out
gonna
the
fit.
right size.
Okay.
The problem is the sleeves are going to be too small. They're going to be too tight, which I didn't plan ahead or even consider the number of stitches for my sleeve until I separated them, and I was like, that looks small.
Can you pick up extra stitches in the gusset?
But it's like an inch too small.
And
if
half
I
an inch
can-
on either side, you might be able to fudge.
So once I discovered that problem, I stopped working on it and cast it on something new.
Well, you're only two rows away from where you did that.
Yeah,
right?
I just did the
Okay.
separation.
I suggest that you go back.
Yeah.
And hybridize Karen's idea with the following, because the body's the right size.
Yeah.
So you don't want more body stitches.
I don't want to get rid of any body stitches.
But if the sleeve's too small when she's already made her cast on,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be like tight up under the arm because there's not a
What
big
if
enough.
yeah,
you
it's
did
still too tight.
one more round with the sleeves, but increased just did an increase like right at the gusset part on either side of the sleeve, but it's part of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I guess it's
Let
the
me
same
float
idea.
this idea.
Yeah.
Solve
We're
my
on the
problem for
same.
me.
Well, that's what we're here for. That's how we support each other. We're on the same path, but let me float this idea because I'm concerned that if she leaves her cast on as the pattern's written,
Mm-hmm.
her sleeve will bunch under the arm.
I don't mind gaining a little extra room in the body, so my plan was to cast on an extra half an inch worth of stitches
Uh-huh.
and just have it a little oversized. But I think it might look strange to have the body that much more oversized and the sleeves to
tight.
still be skin tight.
I got the
Yeah,
solution.
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. Cast on as many as you need to add to your sleeve.
So add in extra.
Yeah. So
Okay.
go back to the row that you're dividing on.
Okay.
Cast on however many more you need for your inch or however much more ease you want to put in the sleeve.
Okay.
Then, as you work across the first row of the body,
Mm-hmm.
decrease
A bunch
those.
under the underarm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
I guess that
then-
would work.
Then your sleeve
You
has
still have
maybe
that
not right away. Maybe do like
Because you need
two-
to be able to pick up
without it being too
without it
tight.
being weird.
Yeah, but you also because you end up with the same problem if you immediately decrease the body ones. That
Right,
it's
it's still gonna shrink.
shrinking the body.
So do 2 rounds.
Oh, I could just do
Wait.
some
I
side
see your excited
I
face.
got it. Okay.
Okay.
Because you keep saying we keep saying gusset, right? So that is like an actual.
Yeah.
And this is a solve because I'm having the same problem in something I'm working on that's in fabric.
Okay.
It's gonna look so beautiful too. Okay, put in the number you need. Figure
Okay.
out what you need for
Add
your
an inch
sleeve.
of cast on
Exactly what
stitches,
you
whatever.
want.
Okay.
Okay. So that's 8 stitches. Let's
Okay.
just say I'm throwing a number
Sure.
out there. Now you're going to very gently decrease those in a triangle
Right,
shape
to make
under
a
the
gusset
arm
shape in the underarm. That is
Yes.
smart.
In the body part?
Yeah.
in the body.
In the body.
So
Yeah.
the sleeve has the number of stitches it needs, and the body is going to taper in.
Yeah.
Under
And
the arm.
and you have enough comfort that the sleeve is never
Yes.
strangling your upper arm. That's gonna be beautiful.
Okay, I will do that.
Oh,
We need to write this concept down.
I mean, it's a thing. Yeah.
But I've never seen it executed in a solve.
But you know,
Okay.
like, no, but you know, like how we have that secret thing that we're talking about?
Yeah.
We need to add this to our secret thing.
Our list of secret things. Yeah, somebody
As
else.
just because
Yeah,
I like,
just
just
'cause
because I like the
cool.
shape. It's a cool shape.
It's a hot tip that could go to that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Somebody else, one or two other customers that I have talked to have downloaded the pattern.
Mhm.
So before they start, I'm gonna like see their gauge and their size and make sure, because I don't know if it's just thrown off sometimes when on the larger end of sizes things get a little skewed.
Yep.
But it was a free pattern. Like, I don't, and I thought there were mistakes in it. I was real loosey-goosey with the rules doing my increases, because I was like 10 stitches short at some point, because I can't read apparently, and then I got to the end and I didn't have enough stitches because I had missed a whole increase row, so I just threw that in at some point. So if I'm not following the directions exactly, it'll be fine. But I'm really enjoying it. I like the yarn. I like the colors that I picked. It took about a month for it to come from
It's really slowed down. I know, like, when January I was like, oh my god, it was in Denmark 2 days ago.
No, it took like a whole month to get here.
So now they're quoting 6 to 20 days of shipping time.
Yes.
Not even of the packing time. So the most recent order I made took about that long, like 3 weeks.
Do you think it's because the thing in Ukraine is affecting all of Europe?
I don't know.
I think
they changed
could be a
their
combination
shipping.
of a lot of things.
Like, they changed the shipping service they used. It seemed like it was just a slightly different interface to track it. So I think they just changed how they're doing business.
Yeah.
Which, whatever, rising costs everywhere across the globe over so many things, including war.
So if you need yarn right away, that's not the place for you. They have lots of nice yarn, but
I think you can pay for express shipping too. But I didn't need anything. I was
international
buying.
shipping.
Yeah. You just tripled the cost of your yarn, right?
Yep.
Sometimes you gotta ask, is it really worth it?
Right? And I did not desperately need what I was ordering. I just wanted it. And it was on sale. Their sales are insane.
Yeah.
I have promised myself to stop, though.
Okay.
Because I have more than I need of everything in my life.
Sure.
But I'm very excited about Poison Girls, which I think I talked about making something of theirs recently.
Oh, yeah.
And they have a really gorgeous classic cabled sweater. So I am planning on buying this Tweety sport weight yarn that's a white background with little flecks of neon tweed in it. That is the only thing I'm allowing myself to buy from Hobie as soon as when it comes back in stock for the rest of this year.
Okay.
Famous last words, right?
Do you want us to like keep you accountable?
No.
Okay. I figured you probably
Thank
did.
you. What is that? Someone lied to you. That was me. I love that soundbite.
Those are all the things that I'm working on.
Well, they're wonderful.
Thank you.
Good luck. Was it Godspeed?
Godspeed.
Towards
I'll think
finishing.
about that. That's a problem for another day. I'll cruise along on my parachute instead, because that's easy.
It's gorgeous. Now I want to make this livresque because I want to solve that problem.
Okay.
I want to encounter that problem and solve it. And actually, sometimes when I'm composing a raglan shaping, it's a little bit daunting, like where you start the sleeves to where you end the sleeves to where you.
Yes.
This might just be a good design solve.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess it's my turn.
It's your turn.
What am I not working on? So I started another luminous sweater or luminous summer. I was in my other yarn purchase from Rasmussen's in Solvang. Cumulus, which I feel like maybe we've seen this yarn solid colored. It's from
familiar.
Juniper Moon.
Uh-huh.
And all their colors are gorgeous. I've seen another color.
Lois had it? Mm-mm. I don't think so. I know she had Juniper Moon, but I don't remember that.
I think I've seen it at Fabric Town. I think
that
I've
makes
seen
sense.
solid. But I didn't look closely at it because it looked cottony, and I draw away from cotton yarns because I don't trust them. But this is Cumulus Rainbow. It's Israeli Mako cotton and a touch of nylon for strength.
Okay.
94% cotton and 6% nylon. And now I'm in.
Yeah.
It's 100 grams, 251 yards. So, and the rainbows they start one color on the outside and finish the same color every single ball.
They're consistent.
Yeah.
Wow.
Every ball. So I purchased 3 balls to make this.
Nice.
And the color I have is cactus.
That's a really cool
bloom.
stripe because it fades into one and then fades back. It's
Because
like
I could rely it. So
like a-
this is 1 ball from the green to the yellow.
oh.
So my color is this gorgeous foresty green to navy to like an aubergine, maroon into like a warm red,
Becomes like a
golden
sunset
yellow.
at the
Yeah.
Very pretty.
And then I could start my next ball exactly where the yellow was.
Yeah, and then
It
fade
was
back in and out.
beautiful.
Very cool.
So I got well into my second ball, and I realized I forgot the short row shaping that in this particular pattern. It happens after you break off for the sleeves.
Oh, weird.
So it's a
What?
counterintuitive place. It
Yeah.
works because I've made one already, and it works great. So I had like 3 inches of the body done.
Uh-oh.
It was like, okay, you need the short rows.
Yeah.
You actually
couldn't
need
just
them.
leave them out.
So, and I did skip something in the first one I made, and since I want to teach this in June, I'm trying to follow the rules.
Yeah.
So I went backwards. Then I got worried that my gauge changed because it seemed actually kind of big. But I checked my gauge and it's going to work. So, so that's just a PSA that it's good to check your gauge while you're working on a
Yes.
project.
I always am like, I should, but I'm scared.
Yeah. Yeah. And so I let it sit for a while before I
Yeah.
talked myself into it. Only actually somebody else brought in another color of cumulus. It was like, oh, it's so pretty. Blue, yellow, pink, purple, maybe.
Mm.
I don't think that's the order, but it was like
Can
that
I touch
kind
it?
of. Yeah, it feels wonderful.
Oh, ooh. It's so fluffy.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
like
I want
a
that.
cottony cloud.
Very nice.
Oh,
it's
it's got a
lovely.
really
Very
luscious.
loopy.
Yeah.
Luscious is the word.
I never buy like I'm
This
not drawn to
doesn't-
cottons like
this is cotton.
Yeah.
It's because the acrylic is making it lovely and pretty. Not acrylic
It's nylon
or nylon,
Yeah,
whatever.
It's 94% cotton.
My
and
point
then
being, it's buddied
6%
up.
nylon.
It's partnered with something that makes it look extra better.
I think it might be the way it's made. It looks almost like a chainette.
Yeah.
It's
Very
not
fluffy.
plied.
Is it one of
Well-
those tubes?
No, it's not blown in.
And the chainette construction.
It's a chainette. Yeah.
Okay, the chainette also is going to make the cotton have memory. It's going to behave better.
And those are things. If I allow cotton into my world,
Uh-huh.
like I consider what it's gonna be used for, and how the yarn's constructed and what it's paired with. If all those things are working, then I'm a happy camper.
Yeah.
The other thing I'm working on is Rift, which I think Katie, you
Oh,
have
yeah, I made that.
successfully made a Rift.
I love that pattern.
I'm very happy with it. I started it like 3 or 4 years ago. I started the ribbing, and I set it aside and moved on to other things.
I want to make another one because I like cropped, but it is just like a touch too cropped. Like if it was like an inch and a half longer, it would be absolutely perfect.
I went a little longer
Yeah.
on my body. Because I looked at the overall length, and it's supposed to finish out at about 17 inches, and that seemed that's gonna just skim the top of my
Yeah.
waist and my back on the back. I know I will be wearing this layered with dresses or other things. I'm really happy with it. I have no idea what this yarn is
I was gonna
called.
say, what is that?
It's a loop-de-loop or loopin' whatever it's the in-house brand for Michaels.
Oh,
I walked by this yarn the whole time it was a regular priced item
yeah.
because to me it looks like a novelty ribbon, which is
Yeah.
not usually my cup of
It
tea.
knits up and looks so
It knits-
different
yeah,
than it looks in
beautifully.
the ball.
Gorgeous knitted up. It's cotton and linen and polyamide or nylon or something
Uh-huh.
like that.
That must be what gives it the shine.
I think so. It's like a coral color, and there was exactly enough balls. There were 4 that comes on a what do we call this?
Like a core.
A cardboard.
Yeah, a core, or a spool. And there were exactly enough in my size to make this.
Nice.
And somebody, I think Fancy Tiger Craft, had just done it as a knit along, and they marled another yarn that I have, which is it's called Mojave, and it's 100% cotton yarn. And I had bought it just to make something else because I like the colors.
Yeah.
And then they made this marled one. So I'm going to make a second one that is marled.
Mm-hmm.
I have like a navy, a tan, a coral, and a yellow. I'm sorry, a turquoise, coral. I don't know. I have to find the bag. But I have several colors and they look really beautiful together. It's a very Mojave color palette.
Okay.
It makes me feel Palm Springsy, actually.
I love that.
I was looking for it and I didn't feel like digging it out. But Rift is going really well. I'm about halfway. I've split for the front and back.
Nice.
So it should move pretty quickly from there. And then I am also working on stripes. I'm getting pretty close to finishing the body on that. And then I found another yarn I'm really excited about at Michael's called Cotton Flare. It's by Premier.
Oh, I feel like I've seen that. Or
something. It comes also on a little spoolie,
Mm.
and it's 317 yards of a cotton acrylic blend. I think it's like 54 cotton, 46 acrylic. It feels great. It's not very splitty. And it was a good deal. It was $6.
Sweet.
And I think they were getting to buy one, get the second one half off. So my sweater's going to cost like $30, maybe.
Sweet.
No, it's going to cost less than that. Doesn't matter. It's going to be a cheap sweater. But I wanted just a simple raglan sweater that I can wear with everything at work. So, but I don't like doing the picking up when I don't know how much yarn, like how far my yarn's going to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to plan for doing an edging later. I want to finish all of the yarn.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I did kind of like a tab start, like a shawl would start with a tab. And I did 25 stitches of 1x1 twisted ribbing and a provisional cast on. I worked halfway out, came back and picked up the other side.
So you're doing like the back of the collar.
Yeah. And then I picked up all the stitches for the raglan, and it's going very well.
Oh, did you post a picture of this?
I did a reel on Instagram.
Yeah.
So I've broken off fully for the body and sleeves, and I'm well into the body.
I thought that was part of the pattern. That was a very clever hack.
Well, I'm making it up. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was part of the pattern.
But the way you're doing the neckline is different.
She's making up the whole pattern. She doesn't have a pattern.
Oh.
Well, I'm borrowing numbers from somewhere.
Sure.
But very loosely. Why do the math again when it's done for you? But yeah, no, I made up the start.
I've done that.
It is part of the pattern.
I did that on some Tin Can Knits pattern a long time ago, but it was garter stitch.
I think that I was like, oh, you could do a whole bunch of edges.
Yeah.
So I started another one with a seed stitch edge. No, I don't like it. I think it needs to have more structure to it.
Yeah.
I've
done that the other direction where you knit like a collar extension and seam it in too. Yeah.
That's where the inspiration has definitely come from, is those patterns. I have a feeling that it's not 100% invented. I'm sure it's elsewhere, and I think that it might be in the Water Bearer, Jacqueline Cieslick's Water Bearer.
Oh, I want to make that.
I've
had that pattern.
I've
bought yarn for it, but
I thought I had started it. I've definitely read the beginning of the pattern, and I think it's like that.
I want to make
That's not where I'm getting my numbers. But.
That'll be our next our next.
No, Kaity already suggested our next knit along.
I did?
Didn't you?
I think if she forgot about it.
New woolen pine.
Oh, I did suggest that. I don't remember what that. I'm gonna look for that pattern.
It's called like strand forward.
I just completely
because you show
it.
the floats on the front side. It's their new
goes
top.
Down the top. Oh.
Yeah, it's side to side.
Yes.
Okay, so we've got the next two. We've got enough to get us to the end of the year.
I'm good because I imagine I probably have float side. That's it.
I do want to make that too.
I probably have yarn for float side. I definitely have yarn for Water Bear.
What weight is either of those?
Water Bear is sport or DK, I think.
I don't know.
Is float side worsted?
No.
Yeah, bummer.
It looks fingering.
I just have a bunch of. I just bought a bunch of worsted. Oh, fingering. Oh yeah. Okay.
That's watermelon sugar right there. Sorry, every time that weight of yarn gets said, I turn into a 13-year-old boy. Yeah. And then today I'm trying to be good about our Instagram posting for our account. So I was making some videos of this motif that you can make in 10 minutes. And now I'm playing with making a whole little hexagon pillow.
Cute.
The motif is I found this on Pinterest like 4 or 5 years ago. It's a very cute little hexagon motif. If you're crocheted. If you're looking for it, like hexagon motif in 10 minutes, I think is the title. So I wanted to tag her, and I'm looking for her by the name of her blog, and I didn't find her. So I see she does have the little Instagram icon, and I already follow her.
Oh, nice.
So her name is Miss Pip Lincoln, and her screen name on Instagram is Pip Lincoln, and that all is spelled the way it sounds, except there's an E at the end of Lincoln.
Okay.
So I think I'm making a little hexagon pillow. It is just a 10-minute motif, which is about as much as I want to do when I want to do.
Yeah. Cute.
These are the things I am making.
I think that they are all cool.
Before we move on, since we were talking about stash acquisition.
Yeah. Yes.
So I was wrong. It was not the Lonnie Bunny's Enchanted yarn that I was stalking and waiting for.
Oh,
so
buying in a party?
Yes. I mean, that was a launch. I did participate the first day, but the one was the new collection from Treehouse Knits that is inspired by Gilmore Girls.
Ah.
And I might have gone overboard. I got like a mini skein and 8 more skeins. Dragonfly Inn, Kim's Antiques, Williams Hardware, I'll Make the Cookies, Luke's Diner, Miss Patty's School of Ballet, and I Smell Snow. And some of that is in Surrey alpaca, because, I'm kind of crazy about that, with spruce sock and sequoia sock. I'm not quite sure what they do. I think one is a single, well, they can't be sock if they're single ply, but anyway.
Did I throw my crochet hook at someone or something?
I had what you're looking for?
Yeah.
So these are the colors.
I don't see it.
So I love the I Smell Snow, because that made me imagine this one scene with Lorelai, like, shoveling snow in her jeans and an open front, and maybe like a denim jacket and a really skinny scarf.
Yeah.
And I remember watching that, because I watched Gilmore Girls pretty recently, thinking, first of all, that skinny scarf is very much of its time.
So, yeah.
And if anyone outside of Southern California watched that, they know that it's shot in Southern California.
Yes, yeah.
Because, I mean, as a SoCal native, I can only presume that is not what you wear when you're shoveling.
I would assume that you're probably right.
I feel like that's a pretty educated guess.
Well, the designer did a reel this morning about just a real quick reel sharing some thoughts. And she said that she was absolutely shocked that the number one overwhelming, not even close by any other color was I Smell Snow.
Because very pretty.
And she said there's just so much more to it than it, like, spoke to something inside that she didn't know if anyone else would get, and apparently a lot of us get it.
Yeah.
But she's like, oh, so anyway,
Cool.
So I'm excited. That won't come for several more podcasts, but
Anna's frantically shaking all of the things that she has touched to see where her crochet hook has gone, because she...
It's like bright blue.
It's right there. It's on the floor under that chair.
Okay. Under this chair. Thank you.
You're welcome.
see, folks, we really are live.
Well, what have you...
Wait.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
I'm a liar.
She's got
I'm
more.
working on one more thing.
Okay, she got another
Wow.
Because when Karin said she was sewing something. So I'm making a suit coat jacket. It is a pattern from New Look. I don't remember the number. Doesn't matter. And it's going pretty well.
Beautiful.
It's an unlined
It's
jacket.
gorgeous.
So
but your seams are
Hong
so
Kong
beautiful.
Seams. Love
Tell
it.
us what Hong Kong seams are.
You got a while? No, just kidding. So you take unfolded bias binding and you enclose all of your raw seams in.
It's beautiful.
Essentially. There's a little more to it, but that's essentially what it is. I think I'm having a bad time with this, actually. It's almost done. It'll be wearable. I won't be making this pattern again. I put it on and I feel like I am a tank or something, which doesn't happen every time I put on a suit coat. So it has to be the style. It has princess seams. I measured everywhere and everything, and it didn't fit, so I had to add 1.5 inches gusset under each arm, and I don't want to do that again.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at other, because I'm just trying to build up my professional wardrobe right now with Me Maids.
Yeah, Me May starts tomorrow.
Yep. But it has a really cool pocket.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, that's a beautiful pocket.
Beautiful pocket. The pocket's worked into one of the side panels. And it fits now, but the sleeves are so tight. The bust is not working out the way that the measurements should have, and I don't know what went wrong. But
that's
the other part of like not feeling good when I put it on, I realized after I walked away for a few days is it's just not a style that I want. It has nothing to do with me or with the measurements.
You could just not
it's
like
just
that style.
Not the style I want. So I have a few other patterns I'll be working through, and at some point I'm going to find the one I love, and I'll just make it 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
Or 5 or 6, just so I have a variety. But it's good though. I'm happy with my finishing.
I was gonna say the craftsmanship in the seams is really evident.
It's kind of hard to like show you guys what it's supposed to look like because I have to do a big step of sewing down the front facing, so it's kind of like a suit coat
and
blob.
Suit coats they're a challenge. They're not an easy thing. I don't think, at least not to me.
Well, an unlined one is a lot easier. Well, maybe not. I don't know.
Yeah, because then you have to finish all your seams.
It's just like all the sewing's the same level of hard to me.
All right.
Okay, that's all the things I'm working on.
Okay, Karin, what have you finished?
Okay, so we tested we tested a little pouch from Kaity, and I use it all the time.
Nice.
And I love it. When I first did it, Katie might notice, and when you take a picture, my edges are very creased because I was like, mine just don't have the same shape as Katie's, so I will force that shape upon it with an iron, and now it's like a little too square.
Oh, well.
But as I'm using it, it softens up. But it's not the pattern; it's the person who made the pattern. That would be me.
This is the lacy zippered boxy bag, whatever I called the class.
Yes.
It's not my pattern. It is a.
Oh, I thought it was your pattern.
No, it is a variation on a Svetlana Sotak pattern for her boxy pouch, which is a free pattern of hers, but my addition was with the lace zipper instead of a regular zipper. So if you wanted to make a similar shape, it's her boxy zippered pouch pattern, and I think it's free on her blog.
There's something to be said. I'm going to skip in line because mine's very... Oh, no, Karin still has more. I can't skip. But as I say, there's something you said about the zipper, like the application of the zipper actually is very, very approachable.
Yeah, it's an easy... the lace zippers are they look fancy, but they're very simple.
Yeah.
Okay,
Karin
what else?
has more.
Okay, so I made a hat. I don't have a big head, and I don't have a lot of hair. So, but I still like to make my friend's pattern, Tanya from Yarn Gone Wild, and this is the cupcake hat, and I used the yarn that she did. So let me, Lion Brand Scarfy. She says 1 skein. I still have quite a bit left. So, and that includes the pom-pom, and it's just a really nice crochet hat. You start with the ribbing, and then it is done in the round, but it's kind of a nice mix of stitches. You've got some half double crochet through the back loop. You've got some double crochet, and you got some single crochet for shaping, and you don't decrease that off. You only have like 2 decreases, and then you cinch it all up. And she has these nice tall slouchy hats that if I had more hair would be better. But I still like making her hats because they're very comfortable, they're very interesting, and they always are nice and quick for the evening.
What's the name of the pattern?
This is called the Cupcake Hat.
Oh, you said that. Thank you.
By Yarn Gone Wild, Tanya.
I like that scarfy yarn. I've used it before.
I bought it in 2 colors, so I'm going to make a second one.
Cute.
And
don't some of your children have a lot of hair, or not anymore?
Only one of them, and he doesn't wear beanies.
Okay.
So,
c'est la vie.
And then the other thing is, I revisited a pattern that I had done a while back called Rondelay, and I redid it with another skein of yarn from But this one is from Gauge Dye Works, and it is
love
super
her yarn.
fun.
Mm.
It's one of those that's meant for socks where it has like the rainbow self-striping where it goes and it never repeats. It just goes from greens, from blue greens, like aqua to grass green to lime green to yellows to oranges to pinks to purples, and then you finish off with blue. But it has this big chunk of a solid color. The idea being that if you're making a pair of socks and you want a contrasting heels and toes, you have enough of one color to do both socks with the same heel and toes. But I didn't do socks. I did a scarf. It's not blocked yet. It'll be a lot bigger when it's a lot deeper when it's blocked, but it's going to be a class sample because it was just really fun. And it's really, when you get a yarn that changes colors, it just keeps you engaged.
Nice.
So as far as finished things, that's pretty much it.
That's a lot of finished things.
Two
That's
things.
Pretty good.
Three things.
It's beautiful.
Nice.
I have her solar system yarn, and I keep reminding myself I have one.
See, I almost got that, but I'm like, I don't need any more yarn.
There's one, like, you can buy it 2 ways where it does repeat, I think, or like the intention is that you're making a set of socks, and the other one is to make that that hat that's a tube. It has a
The muscle something.
muscle board.
Musselberg?
Yeah.
Musselberg.
Yeah.
Nice.
Which I started, which is what I was originally going to do. I actually bought yarn because I saw that hat. But
Uh-huh.
then I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that.
It's a boring hat. It's
Yeah.
a very nice hat, but
Yeah.
and I started it one too, and I was like, this is boring as heck.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was like, it should be simple. But it's just, even the yarn alone. Maybe if I'd started with the color side and not the gray, but I would have been more engaged. But I was like,
Yeah, but then I would never have finished it.
Right.
Once I get to the gray, I'd be like, I'm bored. I don't want to finish this.
Snore.
it'll be half a hat. It doesn't have to be the same.
Well,
Yeah.
it is like 4 hats in one is what it totes. So
Right.
half a hat's
How's
2
it-
hats.
Oh, because you
Um,
fold it. Because it's
yeah.
deep enough to fold up. It's either
Yeah, January 1 makes a ton of them, or has made. I think that's where I saw both Gageworks yarn.
Yeah, I blame
and-
her for why I bought
Yeah.
that yarn.
Yeah.
But
Which
I'm
is
happy
fine.
for the yarn.
Yeah.
Just decided to repurpose.
I never have intended to make that hat, but that is the project that I've seen it with.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Somebody else's finished stuff?
I finished. Well, okay. So I have been quilting for for years. My mom just recently learned how to quilt, and she finished her first quilt a few months ago,
Oh.
and she has jumped feet first into it, and is loving it. And she goes every week to we call it quilt camp. My
Mhm.
grandma and her friends meet once a week, and they quilt together. So my mom has been going and getting inspired, and my grandma gifted us, or long term lent my mom and I a mid-arm quilting machine. It's a
Cool.
Handy Quilter Sweet 16, which means that it's big, and
It sits on the tabletop?
yeah. So you sit
Ah.
at it, and it like sort of extends towards you, and you can free motion or straight line, well, whatever kind of quilting you want to do. So I made 2 quilts this month, to practice on the quilting machine. This is a little baby quilt that I made. with
Oh,
some Ruby
wow.
Star
You did a
Society
great job.
fabrics.
I love the fabric.
I love the quilting. Good
So this
job.
is like a little loopy meander. It wasn't
meander swirls.
too hard. This fabric came from a Super Buzzy has. They're sort of like mystery packs.
Mm-hmm.
Is
They
it a
call
charm pack?
No, they
No.
call it a stash expansion or enhancer pack, whatever. And I think what it is, it's all one like they're all from the same collection. So this is the Whatnot collection from Ruby Star Society, and it's like the leftovers that the manufacturer has after they do their pre-cutting.
Mm-hmm.
So it
That's
ended
clever.
up being like 10, 11 inch wide chunks. No, it wasn't that big. It was like 6 or 7 inches. So I was able to trim them, and they weren't all exactly the same. I was able to cut them into charm pack size, and it ended up being like a little baby blanket size. So I just patchworked them together. I didn't do any fancy patchwork or anything. Piecing. They're just squares, but then I got to practice quilting, which was fun. And then I think I talked about finishing this quilt top, but now it is an actual finished quilt.
Woohoo!
This is the Jelly Rainbow.
Oh my, that is so
this is,
pretty.
One jelly roll. It's a free pattern from Moda, I think, called Jelly Rainbow. And it uses like every square inch of the jelly roll. So if you want to maximize the amount of quilt that you can get from one jelly roll, this is the pattern for you.
Nice.
Does that include the binding, or is the binding extra?
No, the binding in back was extra. Obviously the back didn't come from a jelly roll. So,
but it coordinates really well.
Yeah, so these are the Ruby Star Speckles, which are like their blenders. So I bought a jelly roll of like one of almost every single color that they have. And then I was at Super Buzzy one day and I was like, oh, I need binding for that quilt. I'll just pick any color because I'm sure it's in there. Mm-hmm. This purple I chose is not in here.
That's amazing.
Anywhere. I just assumed that it would be, but it works just fine.
It works great because it's not
They're
in
all
there.
designed to go together. But I was like, oh, I'm sure it's in there somewhere. It's not.
I love the splatter speckles.
Yes. And then the backing is the same speckles, but in like a neutral gray color with some hot pink and blue.
Was that extra wide, or did you have to piece it?
No, I pieced it. Yeah. So this was the second quilt that I did on the quilting machine.
How are you liking the quilting machine?
Oh, it's fantastic. It needed to get serviced before we could use it, so it's been like tempting because we had it for like a few days and then something went wrong and then it was gone for like a week and now it's finally back. So it was super fun to use. So thank you, Grandma. I don't think you listen, but if you do, thank you, Grandma.
It gets back to her.
Yes. So my mom and I have both very much been enjoying figuring it out. So,
what an awesome gift.
Yeah. She gifted it to us because she didn't use it. It was taking up space, and so we were like, okay, you can keep it at my house. And then it needed to get serviced, and like something happened, and she was like, well, I didn't mean to give you a lemon. Let me pay for the repairs. It's like, well, no, you don't have to do that.
That's so sweet.
But she insisted, so thank you for many, many things, Grandma. But of course, it's been very fun to learn how to use. So those are the two things I finished. I've just been starting other things.
Those are pretty good. Did you make your bag? The Happy Kitty bag?
Yes. This is the tote bag I made.
It's so cute.
With the little lucky cats.
Yeah.
Lucky cat.
Yeah. I made that too. I'll post a picture of it. Along with everything else.
Adorbs.
And what did you finish?
The lacy boxy bag.
Nice.
But perfect because my Juki did not come. It doesn't have a place to put things.
Oh.
So
like a place to hide your
you don't put your little
stuff.
Exactly. So there's no little drawer. So it's the perfect size to fit all of the things that were in the disintegrating plastic bag because that wasn't going to last. The sewing oil's still in the plastic bag. I'll just fold it up tidy to protect my bag. But all my extra feet and the power cord are all in this happy little bag.
Cute.
And it turned out really, really cute. It's a fun pattern.
Yeah, I like that pattern a lot. And it's a useful little size because it's not very big.
Yeah.
I have one in my purse that holds like hand lotion, ibuprofen, whatever. Mm-hmm. Like extra tampons, that kind of good stuff.
That's what
if you don't want to go digging in your purse for.
Because there was plenty of fabric, so I'm gonna flip the colors over, and I have a white lacy zipper. I'm gonna make Marabella a little starter pack for her backpack.
Nice.
Of feminine goods.
Of things that you need.
It's coming soon. I tried to talk to her about that recently, and she's like, "Oh, Mom, that was not me." I was like, "Tell me more, Mom."
Right.
But she was embarrassed.
I love it. So Katie picked out fabric for us to make these bags, and I got to see them first. I'm like, oh, of course I go to the blue.
There was a blue one and a red one. I was like, I'm not assigning them to anybody, but I'm pretty sure I know who's going to get which.
I'm like, I kind of want to go do the red, but I know that Anne will want the red.
But I like the yellow too.
But I really like the blue and yellow. Yeah. I'm like, I'm sticking with my.
It's pretty safe. Again, you and I against each other because we have similar tastes. So
it was
you weren't gonna.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, you chose.
There's no downsides.
Very cute. Thank you for letting us try it out.
Yeah.
If you put it on the schedule again, people should, actually sign up for it.
That would be nice.
It's real cute.
Maybe if they see us using it, like I bring mine out because I keep like the pens and spare needles, and it's handy.
It's real cute. But that's literally the only thing I finished.
That's fine. Some months are about starting.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah.
This month seems to be about starting.
Yeah.
Well, anybody have anything that they're real into? Any obsessions?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, go for it.
So I just discovered this, but I am very excited about it. She's on Instagram. Her screen name is Bratty X Bree _.
Okay.
And her name is Bree, or I suppose it's BRE. She makes mini zines. So I don't know if you've ever done this with paper. 8.5 by 11 paper. And there's a certain way you can fold it that it makes a little booklet.
Oh.
And she makes like indie zines, but mini. And she makes a master one, and it's like collage art basically. And then she color copies them.
Oh, okay.
And then distributes them. And then she's done all kinds of other cute things, like she's made even more mini ones and turned them into earrings.
Cute.
She has a bunch of like stickers that she, of her artwork. But I'm so excited. I mean, I like her, and I think she's so cheeky and cute. But
she's adorable.
She does screen printing too. But I'm so excited about the idea of taking that concept of taking original artwork and putting it in that art book form, and then making it reproducible.
Yeah.
She's obsessed with Nicolas Cage.
I can see this.
So cute. Because I am also lightly obsessed with Nicolas Cage. Not to her level, because I'm seeing these like quotes, like she's playing these sound bites of him to go with booklets she's made of him that I've never heard before.
Oh gosh.
But they are the insane Nicolas Cage things.
James and I watched Con Air and Face Off this
month.
So
Nice.
We've
Very
been on
nice.
a really cheesy 90s action flick binge, which just happens to have a lot of Nick Cage.
Yeah, so that's going to be plenty Nick Cage.
Yep.
So I can't stop thinking about that format and what I want to do with it. And she has like one of her things is her t-shirts is no one is gatekeeping these little tiny zines or something like that. And it's a Cupid doll, which I find exceedingly creepy. My other obsession, which is someone who I followed for a pretty long time, I just have been seeing her more in my feed. Her screen name is Polychrome, Polychrom3. Her name is Thalia Castro Vega, and she is like a personal stylist influencer who creates things in the maximalist style.
Nice.
So she will take a dress and a bustier and a frilly blouse and 7 necklaces and a bracelet and chunky heels and a themed bag and put it all into a cohesive look.
I've seen videos like that where it's like they just keep adding things and you're like, what in the world? And then you're like, oh.
And it's so perfect. Yeah. I'm sure she lives in LA or somewhere near us because she keeps talking about like the weather changes and they just happen to match like, our exceedingly hot from a week and a half ago to our like, freezing cold to us. Back to, 50, 58 or whatever midday. So I think she's in Southern California as well, but I love her style and I love the maximalist idea.
Nice.
And she's about sustainability and shopping your own closet. And I like that because I love clothing and I love all the things I have for the most part. But I also love the thrill of new.
Yeah.
And she's very good at showing how to keep the things you own fresh and showing new fresh looks with the things she's already got. And she she says where she has acquired each thing and if it's been previously featured just to show
all the things that she still uses.
Yeah, exactly.
I get in this like mindset where I I'd sort of curated the things that I have and gotten rid of a lot of things and spent money on nicer things. And I really like where I am with my wardrobe. But some days, especially after, like, Monday is laundry day. Tuesday, I am overwhelmed with possibilities of the things to wear, but not in a good way. I'm like, what the hell am I going to wear today? And I get tired of putting together outfits. I'm like, I wish there was a person who could come in and pick out my outfit for me from all of the things that I have. And I was like, I think that's a professional stylist, Katie. I think those people exist.
Yeah. Which, I mean... because I wonder if she doesn't do, like, she might not be the person, but I wonder if she doesn't do, like, there's something about contacting her for styling.
There's a girl I follow on Instagram that does professional styling, like, via Zoom or whatever, so you can show her your closet and she can help you put things together and stuff. I'm like, I need someone to come here and look at all my things, and some very stylish person to be like, put this and this. And I'd be like, oh my god, I never thought about doing that.
I have, I just I got real behind in laundry, and I treated myself to taking everything to the laundromat and doing it all in one go, and it was amazing. And then I organized my closet. And I was telling people at drop-in, like, when I do this, I get, like, hyper organized.
Yes.
So all my shirts are together.
I heard about your color coordination.
Yeah, rainbow order. But then I wonder if they told you the whole story, because I noticed I have 0 yellow in my
yes, I did hear this part of the story.
Like 0. Well, it's not true. I have my favorite lemon dress, which you guys have seen many times in the summertime. It's starting to be kind of worn. Needs a little mending. So that's like the one yellow thing I have. And I love it. I wear it a lot during the spring and summer. So I did this. I went to Ross to get more velvety flat hangers. And right there, discarded along the checkout, was a dress in my size in like a golden mustard yellow. Like, see that one?
Like this one?
Yeah. Perfectly my style.
Nice.
And the right price. So I was like,
Love it. It was meant to be.
I mean, even though I'm buying more hangers because I have more clothing than hangers, I don't have any yellow.
So you had to buy something yellow.
I had to buy that dress, and I promptly put it right on and wore it last Sunday.
Nice.
And I really, really like that dress. And that came to the idea of, like, we've visited this before. Is yellow a good color to wear if you find the right yellow?
I'm a firm believer in I don't really give a crap about if it looks good on me. It's a happy color and I like it, I'm going to wear it.
Yep.
I have this bright yellow t-shirt. It's like the color of the paper of these signs. It's like that color yellow. Bright, bright yellow. And I wear it with abandon. I'm like, this is my favorite color.
Yeah, but I bet you get a lot of compliments because you're feeling good in what you're wearing.
The other day I was wearing my bright yellow t-shirt. My current tote bag that I'm using as a purse is yellow, like tie-dyed yellow. And then I was wearing this bag, this project bag, which is like a golden yellow with suns on it. And I like stopped and I looked at myself as I walked by and I was like, I sent a Snapchat to my, like, the girls chat with my family and I was like, hey Katie, what's your favorite color? With a video of me with all of my things. And then the next day I was sitting down eating lunch and I had my yellow water bottle in front of me. I had yellow shoes on and some other yellow thing like right in front of me and I was like, oh, and my AirPod case is also yellow. I'm like, hey Katie, what's your favorite color?
And that is why when I made your bag I knew that yellow for an interior was perfect.
Yep.
Well, it's like Gigi, you know, she's never going to apologize for orange. Everything in her life is orange and it makes her happy.
Yep.
I like bits of yellow.
Yeah, that's fine.
Lime green makes me happy. Makes me look horrible, but I don't care.
Well,
I see it and I get giggly.
Then that's
and I don't get compliments, but I don't care.
Turquoise also looks amazing on you.
Yeah, I do love that.
And that makes you happy too, I think. I mean, I'm not going to prescribe what makes you happy. Turquoise is a color that always makes me happy.
Turquoise is a color that looks good on
almost
pretty much everyone.
I am turning my desk more and more to like that color. It's the color on our on our tape measures and in our logo. And so I have like, it's all accidental, but now it's becoming deliberate. Like I had a mug that color and I had other things that had made its way to my desk that color. And now I'm doing it on purpose. I got a big leather desk
topper thing,
desk pad. Yeah, it's because I noticed my
doesn't it just make you like just warm inside when you go, oh, I love that.
Well, I haven't debuted that yet. It hasn't arrived actually.
It
so
will.
I can't wait to debut that at work and see how obnoxious they find me.
I just love having like the color.
Yeah.
It's like by default, if it comes in that color, I'm ordering that color. You know what I mean? Like if they have it, I'm gonna get it. That's number one.
That's how Kevin is with purple.
Yeah.
But I'm not always gonna choose turquoise. I have to look at them all.
Sure.
And see, and that's why
I'm on my
other
third
spot
pair of
colors
blue
pop in.
sandals. If it's a pair of sandals, it's gonna be navy. It's gonna be some kind of blue.
Yeah.
So those are the things I'm obsessed with.
Okay.
Anybody else?
Do you have anything?
I actually have an obsession.
All right, go
There's
for it.
a gal on Instagram, and I cannot stop looking for her videos. She's the Black Forager.
Oh, I love her so
I love
much.
it.
Oh, yeah, I
Alexis
see her.
Nicole, and
very cute.
she did violet jelly cake candy, like it's like a gummy texture, but she's vegan, so she doesn't use gelatin. She uses sea moss, which is a type of seaweed, and it came out so great. But I mean, she goes through her yard, she goes through the neighbor's yard. She's feeding these wild bunnies from her neighborhood, and they're coming right up to her because she's got the good stuff. And I just love how she says it. She says it quickly with enthusiasm, and she always goes, "Have fun, don't die."
Yeah.
She's so cute.
I adore her.
I mean, the things that she's picking, I'm like, that's a weed, that's bamboo, or that's a cane. She goes, yeah, and you can eat them. I'm like,
she was
what?
eating thistle this week.
Yes, and
Yeah.
she says, yes, it was pain. It did hurt a little bit, but then you just scrape it off and it's good. Dandelion flower snacks. Yeah, she's so good.
That's so funny.
It looks delicious, and I want to try some of those things.
I am scared though.
But I'm not.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. I don't know. I still want the meat.
Yeah, I understand.
Oh yeah, the one with thistle. It looks. I've been like tomato picking at one of the farms where you pick your own, and of course it's like in summer, so I'm wearing shorts and sandals and whatever, and of course there's thistles, and it's so itchy afterwards. I cannot even imagine eating one and not having some kind of a bad reaction.
Yeah.
But maybe it's something in the cooking, comes off. I don't know.
Can change.
I am curious about using sea moss to make gelatin. I'm thinking about it.
That sounds like.
Plus, I like kelp.
So. Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds very much like something you would do, Karin.
Yeah, it's the cooking and the foraging and
Well, we've settled on that's one of your art forms.
Yeah.
You would think so. You would not know that I actually do knitting if you looked at my Instagram feed. I'm trying to change that. I'm like, I post a lot of food things, but that's what I do.
That's okay.
Food and yarn make me happy.
My current obsession is a television show.
Ooh.
Have either of you watched Our Flag Means Death?
I started it and I love it.
Oh,
yes.
We're watching it.
So
like
good.
Dante wants to watch it too, so it's timing. It's hard.
I had a cold last week, so I binged it all over the 2 days that I was homesick.
So funny.
It's so freaking good, and I want to go back and rewatch it. It is it Reese or Rice? I don't know how you say his name. Reese Darby's is the main character, and Taika Waititi, who I'm like
love him.
100% completely in love with.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my god, the show is so good. I 100% recommend it. It's on HBO Max. I watched all through, last week, and then I tried to get James to sit down and watch it with me. He was like, meh. I was like, you don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So I'm watching it again without him.
I have to appreciate James's feeling about it just a little, because if someone wants me to like something,
Yes,
and I'm not in the mood for that genre,
I 100% understand.
I actively resist. Like
Yes.
Kevin and the kids, I skipped watching Spider-Man No Way Home, and they went to see it. I believe that is where the COVID came from. It's probably not, but
You gotta blame someone.
People reporting that, but like there was a big surge in COVID that weekend. Anyway, actively resisting it. They made me sit down and watch it this week. For half of it, I was still actively resisting. But then Marissa Tomei came on, and I love her.
Yeah.
And I was like, what are you doing being like almost 60 and being so damn gorgeous?
Right?
So
No,
anyway.
I understand if you're not in the mindset to be excited about something, to be made to watch it.
Yeah.
I don't.
And they're all
watch...
watching me like, do you love it yet?
Yeah, you're like, leave me alone. I don't watch TV, like, and I 100% don't watch new things.
Mm.
I watch old things that, like my comfort shows that I just watch over and over. So to have watched a whole season of something brand
Ooh.
new is a big deal for me.
All right.
But I really enjoyed it. So that is my current love.
That is fantastic.
It's very
It
good.
kind of reminds me of What We Do in the Shadows, but with pirates.
Yes.
So yeah, it's very it's not as dry as like New Zealand humor can be, like
Yeah.
What We Do in the Shadows. Or have either of you seen Hunt for the Wilder People?
No.
Oh,
That sounds awesome.
You should watch it. That's
Okay.
it's so
Writing
good.
it down.
Sam Neill is in it.
Oh, okay.
It's
so
good.
Yeah, I wanted to see that.
It's very good. So that I love that form of comedy. It's super dry. This is a little less so, but it's still very good. But it's that same sort of feeling.
I used Sam Neill to pacify my middle son today.
Okay.
I was kind of lounging around in the morning, and Kevin left early because he had a conference at UCSB. So it's an unusual morning where I'm still around and Kevin's already gone. And Dante and Bella were like tearing each other's throats out already. And I'm like, oh, they're going to be home without any adult influence all day. So from my bedroom, HBO Max has all 3 Jurassic Park movies, which you can't always find. I was just looking for them maybe 2 weeks ago and they weren't streaming anywhere. For free or included.
Sure, you don't want to rent them.
Yeah. So anyway, just from my bedroom, I put the first Jurassic Park movie on
the TV.
and all of a sudden it's like quiet. It
Nice.
was like when they were little and I would
You
put
just put
cartoons
some
on.
Cartoons or audiobooks.
Yeah.
Sit them down in front of a TV
Yeah.
show.
And then there was peace.
Yeah.
And I thought I would do one more, but I forgot when I was leaving that I
To
was
set
going to
them
put
up
the
with the
next
next
one.
one.
So hopefully there's still 2 living unbruised children when I get home.
That would be good.
Yeah. Kevin's home now, so.
Okay, good.
But it was hilarious.
And he didn't
It
call
was
you,
like-
so it must be
yeah,
okay.
he might still be mopping up the blood. I don't know. But it was like when they were toddlers, and
That's
I
really funny.
I put it on, and I could hear it from the living
You're
room.
like, nice.
I hate children. They smell. Anyway.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about it for us today.
Yep.
You can catch us in 2 weeks for our book club. We're reading Night Fight by
Fight Night.
Fight Night. I can't ever remember.
Miriam Taves.
Miriam Taves. Fight Night.
But it's not spelled that way. But
Toews.
Yeah.
Is how you spell it, but it's pronounced Taves. But that's what we're reading right now. So if you want to read along with us, you can listen to us in 2 weeks talk about that. And if not, we'll see you next month for our next episode.
Woohoo.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Strings Unraveled is a production of Strings and Things Studio, with Anne Lekravin Kazoli, Kaity Von Rader-Fraker, and Karin Wilmoth. Recorded and edited by Kaity Von Rader-Fraker. Find us online at stringsandthingsstudio.com or on Facebook or Instagram at Strings and Things Studio. You can email us at stringsandthingsinfo@gmail.com.